Welcome to Certification Terminal. Let's review couple of CISA questions and answers. Next question. What stands out as the most significant benefit of employing a framework to steer IT governance within an organization? Option A, it enables improvements to the security of high-risk systems in the organization. Option B, it enables better management of the annual IT budget provided by the Board of Directors. Option C, it enables consistency when making strategic IT investments across the organization. Option D, it enables the achievement of service levels between IT and true business departments. The correct answer is Option C, it enables consistency when making strategic IT investments across the organization. Consistency in making strategic IT investments across the organization is a crucial aspect of IT governance. Employing a framework helps ensure that IT investments align with organizational goals and objectives consistently. This consistency enhances decision-making processes, reduces risks associated with ad hoc investments, and fosters alignment between IT and business strategies. Option A is incorrect. While employing a framework for IT governance may contribute to improving the security of high-risk systems, this is not the most significant benefit highlighted in the question. The primary focus of the question is on the overall benefit of employing a framework for IT governance rather than a specific aspect like security improvement. Option B is incorrect. While better management of the annual IT budget is undoubtedly important, it may not necessarily be the most significant benefit of employing a framework for IT governance. The question emphasizes the broader impact of the framework on IT governance within the organization, rather than solely focusing on financial management. Option D is incorrect. Ensuring the achievement of service levels between IT and other business departments is undoubtedly important for organizational efficiency and effectiveness. However, it may not be the most significant benefit of employing a framework for IT governance. The question specifically asks for the most significant benefit, and this option does not address the overarching impact of the framework on IT governance. Understanding the software release management process is pivotal for information systems auditors. Which type of software release commonly incorporates significant modifications or the integration of fresh functionalities? Option A, emergency software release. Option B, general software release. Option C, minor software release. Option D, major software release. The correct answer is Option D, major software release. Major software releases are characterized by significant modifications or the integration of fresh functionalities. These releases often involve substantial changes to the software's architecture, user interface, or feature set. Major releases signify a significant milestone in the software's development cycle and typically introduce new capabilities or enhancements that significantly impact the user experience or functionality. Option A, emergency software release, is incorrect. Emergency software releases are typically unplanned and are deployed to address critical issues or vulnerabilities that require immediate attention. While emergency releases may involve significant modifications, they are not commonly associated with the integration of fresh functionalities. These releases are usually focused on resolving urgent issues rather than introducing new features. Option B, general software release, is incorrect. General software releases often include routine updates, bug fixes, and minor enhancements. While they may involve some modifications, they are not primarily aimed at incorporating significant changes or new functionalities. General releases typically focus on maintaining and improving the existing functionality of the software without introducing major overhauls or additions. Option C, minor software release, is incorrect. Minor software releases usually involve incremental updates and minor enhancements to the existing functionality. While they may include some modifications, they are not typically associated with significant changes or the integration of fresh functionalities. Minor releases are geared towards addressing smaller issues and refining the software's performance, rather than introducing major updates or new features. What would be the Information Systems Auditor's foremost suggestion to safeguard data in case of a recurrence, considering the theft of multiple unattended laptops containing sensitive customer information from personnel offices? Option A, encrypt the disk drive. Option B, require the use of cable locks. Option C, enhance physical security. Option D, require two-factor authentication. The correct answer is Option A, encrypt the disk drive. Encrypting the disk drive is a crucial security measure that can help safeguard data in case of a laptop theft. Even if the laptop falls into unauthorized hands, encrypted data remains inaccessible without the decryption key. This recommendation directly addresses the issue of protecting sensitive customer information and mitigates the risk of unauthorized access to data. Option B, require the use of cable locks, is incorrect. While requiring the use of cable locks can deter opportunistic theft by physically securing laptops to desks or other fixtures, it may not provide comprehensive protection for sensitive data. Cable locks can be circumvented, and determined thieves may still manage to steal laptops. Additionally, cable locks do not prevent unauthorized access to data if the laptop is stolen. Option C, enhance physical security, is incorrect. Enhancing physical security measures, such as installing surveillance cameras or increasing security personnel presence, can help reduce the likelihood of theft. However, solely relying on physical security enhancements may not adequately protect sensitive data stored on laptops. Even with enhanced physical security, determined thieves can still breach security measures and steal laptops containing sensitive information. Option D, require two-factor authentication, is incorrect. While implementing two-factor authentication is an essential security measure for accessing systems or applications, it may not directly address the issue of safeguarding data in case of laptop theft. Two-factor authentication primarily protects against unauthorized access to systems or accounts, but it does not prevent access to data stored locally on stolen laptops. Encrypting the disk drive is a more suitable recommendation for safeguarding data in case of laptop theft, as it directly addresses data protection, even if physical security measures or authentication methods are bypassed. When assessing an organization's information security policies, procedures, and controls for third-party vendors, what should be the Information Systems Auditor's primary focus? Option A, the organization is still responsible for protecting the data. Option B, the reputation of the third-party vendor. Option C, the type of software the vendor provides. Option D, the length of the contract with the third-party vendor. The correct answer is Option A, the organization is still responsible for protecting the data. This option correctly identifies the Information Systems Auditor's primary focus when assessing an organization's information security policies, procedures, and controls for third-party vendors. Regardless of outsourcing certain functions or processes to third-party vendors, the organization remains ultimately responsible for safeguarding its data. The Information Systems Auditor's primary concern should be ensuring that the organization has appropriate measures in place to protect sensitive information, even when it's shared with third parties. Option B is incorrect. While considering the reputation of third-party vendors may be important for assessing their reliability and trustworthiness, it is not the primary focus of the Information Systems Auditor when evaluating the organization's information security policies, procedures, and controls. The primary concern is ensuring that the organization effectively manages the risks associated with sharing data with third-party vendors and maintains appropriate oversight to protect its data, regardless of vendor reputation. Option C is incorrect. While evaluating the type of software provided by third-party vendors is relevant for for assessing its suitability and potential security implications, it is not the primary focus of the Information Systems Auditor when assessing the organization's information security policies, procedures, and controls. The primary concern is ensuring that the organization implements appropriate measures to protect its data, regardless of the specific software used by third-party vendors. Option D is incorrect. While the length of the contract with third-party vendors may have implications for the organization's long-term relationship and risk exposure, it is not the primary focus of the Information Systems Auditor when assessing information security policies, procedures, and controls. The primary concern is ensuring that the organization has appropriate measures in place to protect its data, regardless of the duration of the contract with third-party vendors. What is the main objective of a security audit conducted by CISA professionals? Option A, to evaluate the effectiveness of security measures. Option B, to identify software vulnerabilities. Option C, to test the performance of hardware components. Option D, to assess compliance with ITIL processes. The correct answer is Option A, to evaluate the effectiveness of security measures. The primary objective of a security audit conducted by CISA professionals is to assess and evaluate the effectiveness of an organization's security measures and controls. This includes examining policies, procedures, technologies, and practices to ensure they adequately protect the organization's information assets and mitigate security risks. Option B, to identify software vulnerabilities, is incorrect. While identifying software vulnerabilities is an important aspect of security assessments, it is not the main objective of a security audit conducted by CISA professionals. CISA audits focus more broadly on evaluating the overall effectiveness of security measures and controls across the organization's systems and processes. Option C, to test the performance of hardware components, is incorrect. Testing the performance of hardware components falls under the realm of hardware testing and performance evaluation, which is not the primary objective of a SecUR. It is not the sole focus. Option D, to assess compliance with ITIL processes, is incorrect. Assessing compliance with ITIL, Information Technology Infrastructure Library, processes is important for ensuring efficient IT service management, but it is not the main objective of a security audit conducted by CISA professionals. CISA audits primarily focus on assessing the effectiveness of security measures and controls rather than ITIL process compliance. What factor contributes most significantly to increased encryption overhead and cost? Option A, a long symmetric encryption key. Option B, a long asymmetric encryption key. Option C, a long data encryption standard key. Option D, a long advanced encryption standard key. The correct answer is Option B, a long asymmetric encryption key. Asymmetric encryption keys, also known as public-private key pairs, are typically longer than symmetric encryption keys and require more computational resources to encrypt and decrypt data. Longer asymmetric encryption keys enhance security, but also increase encryption overhead and computational cost, making them a significant factor, contributing to increased encryption overhead and cost. Option A, a long symmetric encryption key, is incorrect. While the length of a symmetric encryption key impacts encryption strength and computational overhead, it typically does not contribute as significantly to increased encryption overhead and cost compared to asymmetric encryption keys. Symmetric encryption is generally more computationally efficient than asymmetric encryption. Option C, a long data encryption standard key, is incorrect. The data encryption standard is an outdated encryption algorithm with fixed-length keys, which are considered relatively short by modern standards. However, DES is rarely used in practice due to its vulnerability to brute force attacks. Therefore, the length of a DES key is not a significant factor, contributing to increased encryption overhead and cost. Option D, a long advanced encryption standard key, is incorrect. The Advanced Encryption Standard, AES, is a widely used symmetric encryption algorithm that supports key lengths of 128, 192, or 256 bits. While longer AES keys provide stronger encryption, they do not significantly contribute to increased encryption overhead and cost compared to asymmetric encryption keys. AES is designed to be computationally efficient, even with longer key lengths. In network performance, which term represents the percentage or fraction of corrupted bits compared to the total transmitted? Option A, throughput. Option B, error rate. Option C, latency. Option D, bandwidth. The correct answer is Option B, error rate. The term error rate represents the percentage or fraction of corrupted bits compared to the total transmitted. It quantifies the frequency of errors or corrupted data packets in relation to the total data transmitted over a network. A higher error rate indicates a higher likelihood of data corruption during transmission. Option A, throughput, is incorrect. Throughput refers to the rate at which data is successfully transmitted over a network, typically measured in bits per second. It represents the amount of data transferred successfully and does not specifically quantify the proportion of corrupted bits compared to the total transmitted. Option C, latency, is incorrect. Latency refers to the delay or time it takes for data packets to travel from the source to the destination over a network. It measures the time delay between the transmission of a data packet and its reception at the destination. Latency is not directly related to quantifying the proportion of corrupted bits in network transmission. Option D, bandwidth, is incorrect. Bandwidth refers to the maximum rate at which data can be transmitted over a network connection, typically measured in bits per second. It represents the capacity or throughput of the network connection, but does not specifically measure the proportion of corrupted bits compared to the total transmitted. Which aspect of an automated change control system is least important for an auditor to review? Option A, log files. Option B, rules. Option C, access lists. Option D, license agreements. The correct answer is Option D, license agreements. While license agreements are important for ensuring legal compliance and usage rights for the automated change control system software, they are typically less directly relevant to the operational aspects of the system itself. Auditors may still review license agreements to ensure compliance with legal requirements, but compared to log files, rules, and access lists, they are generally less critical for assessing the system's functionality and integrity. Option A, log files, is incorrect. Log files are essential for tracking and documenting changes made within the automated change control system. They provide a record of activities, including who made changes, when they were made, and what changes were implemented. Reviewing log files is crucial for auditing to ensure accountability and traceability of changes. Option B, rules, is incorrect. Rules govern the operation and behavior of the automated change control system. They define the criteria and conditions under which changes can be made, helping to enforce consistency and compliance with organizational policies and standards. Reviewing rules ensures that the system operates effectively and in alignment with the organization's objectives. Option C, access lists, is incorrect. Access lists control who has permission to access and modify the automated change control system. They help enforce security measures and restrict unauthorized access to sensitive information and functionalities. Reviewing access lists is important for auditing to ensure proper access controls are in place and mitigate the risk of unauthorized activities. What is the primary objective of an organization's internal information systems audit function? Option A, independently attest the organization's compliance with applicable legal and regulatory requirements. Option B, provide assurance to management about the effectiveness of the organization's risk management and internal controls. Option C, review the organization's policies and procedures against industry best practice and standards. Option D, identify and initiate necessary changes in the control environment to help ensure sustainable improvement. The correct answer is Option B, provide assurance to management about the effectiveness of the organization's risk management and internal controls. The primary objective of an organization's internal information systems audit function is to provide assurance to management regarding the effectiveness of the organization's risk management processes and internal controls. This involves evaluating the adequacy and effectiveness of controls in mitigating risks and achieving organizational objectives. Option A is incorrect. While ensuring compliance with legal and regulatory requirements is an important aspect of internal information systems audit, it is not the primary objective. The primary objective of internal information systems audit is to provide assurance to management regarding the effectiveness of risk management and internal controls, which may include compliance as one component. Option C is incorrect. While reviewing policies and procedures against industry best practices and standards is a common activity of internal information systems audit, it is not the primary objective. The primary objective is to provide assurance to management about the effectiveness of risk management and internal controls, which may involve benchmarking against industry best practices. Option D is incorrect. While identifying necessary changes in the control environment is an important role of internal information systems audit, it is not the primary objective. The primary objective is to provide assurance to management about the effectiveness of risk management and internal controls, which may include recommending improvements to enhance control effectiveness and sustainability. Which incident management practice among the following would be most effective in quickly resolving and minimizing downtime from unplanned interruptions? Option A, prioritizing user complaints based on severity alone. Option B, automatically restarting affected systems upon incident detection. Option C, ensuring IT systems are monitored on a continual basis. Option D, assigning all incidents to the most experienced technicians. The correct answer is Option C, ensuring IT systems are monitored on a continual basis. Continual monitoring of IT systems allows for early detection of incidents. This faster identification translates to quicker response times and less downtime. With early detection, potential issues can often be addressed before they significantly impact users. Option A is incorrect. While severity is important, prioritizing solely on that might neglect critical underlying issues, causing less severe but widespread disruptions. Option B is incorrect. Automatic restarts can be risky and might cause further damage if the root cause isn't identified. Manual intervention with proper diagnosis is usually preferred. Option D is incorrect. While experience is valuable, efficient incident management often involves assigning incidents based on skill set match and workload management to ensure timely resolution across all incidents. Thanks for watching, that's all in this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel if these questions and answers add value to your preparation. Take care until we meet again.